Welcome to Dissing Disabilities, where we talk about dissing disability and knocking down barriers one issue at a time. Today we are talking with Christy Emery, Community Advisory Committee President. Welcome to the show, Christy.
Thank you.
What's the most difficult issue that you see within the IEP process? Because you get all the parent complaints.
Well, I think that because the IEP is such a personal experience for parents, because you're trying to get the best education you can for your child. And from a parent's perspective, it's going to be intense as far as your emotions about that. And for a school, it's the polar opposite, where this is part of their workday and they do this every day. So it's not something that as a parent you do every day.
It appears to me, having gone through the system as a disabled person and not as a parent, but correct me if I'm wrong, that what actually happens is that the district rubber stamps. In other words, if this is your kid with autism, this is what the district's going to do. And if this is your kid with cerebral palsy, this is what the district's going to do. And what I think it is they've forgotten the I, which is individual, okay, in IEP, basically.
Well, I can agree with that. A lot of times you'll see this is what we do for our kids with this particular disability, and this is what we do for these kids with this disability. And a lot of times that does take the individuality out of the process.
I would take it that you want to bring the individuality back into the process. You are your best advocate for your child. And I think what we want to tell the viewers is don't be afraid to advocate for your child, because the more you learn to advocate, the better you. It's not to say that your child's not going to get the good education, but the more you can be the voice for your child and agree to disagree, the better off it is.
I agree. I think that you really need to keep the focus on what those assessments say, and specifically, what are your child's needs? And the more you know what your child needs, the better advocate you're going to be.
And the more you're familiar with the IEP process, and don't be scared of it. This is why I did one thing, and this is what we're basing most of our episodes on. I created this book, Navigating the IEP Process, and most of the episodes are based on chapters out of here. Don't be afraid to go up against these people. Don't be afraid to just settle for what the district puts out. Learn to argue, develop a backbone.
Well, I think you really need to consider yourself as part of the IEP team. While you might not be the teacher or the psychologist or a credentialed member of the team, you're definitely an integral part of the team, in that you have information that only you know, and you have that relationship with your child, and you know what's going to work. So it's really an opportunity for you to be the expert on your child and bring that information to the table to share with the team.
Okay, great. And so the second question sort of brings me to, not only as CAC president, but you have 3 children as a parent. What do you think is the most difficult thing for you?
I would say managing the relationships that come along with the IEP process. You want to keep a good working relationship. However, you need to also keep in mind that this is a business process, this is a legal contract you're developing, and as much as you want to stay on friendly terms with folks, that you really need to keep your focus on what does your child need, what is that going to look like in the development of this document, and how are we going to get this detailed document put together so that it better supports your child.
Right, and that's what we're saying. The whole idea of going through this process is to empower you as parents, and instead of looking at it as a daunting process, looking at it as a process I can conquer, and with help. Your school may have a CAC. We're lucky in Long Beach that we do have a CAC council. You know, tap those people's resources as much as you can. Don't feel like you're bugging them. You know,
oh yeah, exactly.
Even if you ask the same question over and over, you have the right. You're the parents. Go for it. You want to be your child's advocate. And the more you do this, depending on where your child is, the more you become your child's advocate. We're so lucky to have a community advisory council in Long Beach, which Christy and I both sit on. What is, as a parent, what's the hardest thing that you've had to face?
I think in terms of the IEP process would be handling the relationships with the IEP team, especially when that situation can go south at times, and when you have a dispute on your hands and you don't necessarily want to lose your cool in the middle of this meeting, to be able to control those emotions, stay focused on what is it your child needs, because if you stick to that, you'll stay on target.
Christy, before we conclude, what kind of tips would you want to leave with parents and sort of some final words?
Okay, well, I would definitely suggest using the internet to reach out if you are more homebound and have difficulty finding childcare. The internet's a great resource to get support, and you can often ask questions to experienced parents, and it's a really supportive place. So there are a lot of disability support groups online. You can also participate on Facebook. You can also go to CAC, and that's another great resource. Lots of experienced parents that would be more than happy to answer questions and be a resource.
For our district, just for those who might be watching in Long Beach, second Wednesday of every month at Tucker at 6:30 p.m. Please come out and join us. But find out from your district when you have your community advisory and board meeting, and definitely join the council.
Definitely. It's a great way to give input to your district, especially if you feel like there are problems in the district that are affecting groups of students. It's a good way. We are able to give recommendations to the local education board and help be a part of changing the special education system.
Well, that's why that's the purpose of our show. We want to empower parents. We want to teach everybody to become empowered rather than powerless. And we want to knock out these barriers and deal with disability one issue at a time. So that being said, please remember, another source is my book, Navigating the IEP Process, available at Amazon.com, and it's also available by emailing me at rob@specificallyspeaking.com. We invite you to leave comments below about our show. We hope that you'll join as one of our subscribers. That's the way we grow. And we also invite you to email for topics. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.